Hello, my name is Solanki and I will be presenting my assignment 5 for system programming. So in this we have given the 3 questions in which there is in first question I have to code two .c programs, server.c and client C, in which there is a connection in between of them. So I have already written the code part. Let's go. So here this program that is server.c includes the several standard C library header files for the handling the file operations, signals and standard input output. So then there is a main function and which is the entry point of the program. Then here I have declared several variables. FDS and FDC are the file descriptor used for handling FIFOs. CH is the character used for reading the FIFO. Acknowledgement is the string that the server sends back to the client as acknowledgement. Message is the buffer to store the received message from the client. Here creating FIFO by using mkFIFO function. mkFIFO is used to create two FIFO name, my server and client server with appropriate permissions 0600. Then there is a server setup. Then the open function opens the server waits for the client to connect by opening the my server FIFO in read only. Then once the client connect, it opens the client by opens the file directory of the client. Then there is a while loop. In this loop, the server enters an infinite loop to continuously receive messages from the client. It reads characters from the my server FIFO and processes them. When it encounters a new line character indicating the end of the message, it sends an acknowledgement to the client through the client server FIFO. Acknowledgement sending. When a new line character is received, the server constructs an acknowledgement message by appending it to received message. It then sends the acknowledgement message to the client through the client server FIFO. Then there is a cleanup. The server closes and removes all the FIFOs after it has been used. Then it returns 0. And for the another program which will be with this is this client program, in which there are all the header files needed for input output operations, file operation and process controls. Then I have declared a global variable message with size of 1024 characters. Then there is the entry point of the code main function. Then I have declared FDC and FDS here as a file descriptor for FIFOs, and CH is a character variable for reading input. Connecting to server. The client attempt to opens the my server FIFO in write only mode. If the FIFO is write only is not available, it returns periodically until it's successful by this while loop. Then similarly it attempts to open the client server. Then by the communication, once it connects, the client prompts the user to type in data to be sent by the server by this. Then at last the client reads the input from the using character until it reaches the end of file. Each character is read and returned to the my server. If the character is not a new line character, this one, then the client then the cleanup process is done by using the close function. After communication complete, the client closes the FIFO and hence return. So now let's run this code. At first compiling both of the and I will open another terminal in which same process. I haven't started the script, so let's begin the script for this one. Script I guess this assignment is 5th. .txt party not log. I guess now it should work. The script started. Now compiling again. No, at first I need to show the code. Cat MSQ. This is a it's successfully compiled. Now running server first. So here the server is waiting for the client, and in the second terminal let's run client. So let's pass something like computer. We can see that all of the characters are been processed by this, are been saved in the server. Now let's something another hello. You can see it also been product. So to terminate this, control D. Terminated. So now moving to our second question. So in this question, I have also been provided game.c and by the professor, in which now I have to use pipes to coordinate the players, rewrite the game.c program so that it now. So why is it? So for the FIFO, I've done also that code. So in this code, these are all the standard. This is for the file control. This library is for file control. This one is for standard input output. This one is for Unix standard commands and standard library. Then file status. Then time related library. Then for signal. So here it starts with the function prototype definition. It's just a declaration of our function player, and the starting point of the code is the main entry point of the execution. Here it's there it's removes any existing FIFO with the same names if it there exists. Then defines then here I define to indicate the whose turn it is by character turn T. Then I created new FIFOs for communication between referee and players by function make FIFO temp1 and temp2 with proper permissions 077. Then it opens the FIFO for communication with player 1 by this integer fd1 and file directory 1 open by using open function, and then it forks the child process for player 1. If it doesn't fork, then there's an error display. Then remove any existing FIFO with the same name if it exists for temp3 and temp4. Create FIFO for the communication with player 2. Then same with for the player 2. Then it opens for the open FIFOs for communication with player 2. Then it forks another child for player 2. Then in the loop, it's first send the turn indicator to the Toto, which writes the data and read. Then it again send turn indicator to TT, and then here the read function waits for TT to turn to finish. Then at last close all the file descriptors. Here in the main, this is the definition of the player function which I have created. At first, it's the player point has been initialized to 0. Then declaration for dice and turn. Then at first I generate a unique seed for the random number generator using getPID function. Then there is an infinite loop for the player's turn, and then print, and here is the player's name and dice roll, and in each time it generates a random number to for the dice, so that each player gets a random number whenever the dice is thrown, and its range is in between 1 and 10. Then at last it sends the termination signal to all the processes by killing it. Then delay for the visual effect is for sleep 1 seconds. Then it writes the turn indicator to the referee. So now let's run this program. First compiling. You can see that the Toto got 4 point, TT got 8 point. Then on the another Toto got 3, 9. So every time the dice is thrown, then the random number is generated for the dice output. So here TT won 550 points. So now moving forward to our third question and last one. In this I have to program C code with all these steps for displaying the rule number 4, which says if a process writes to a pipe whose read end has been closed, the write operation fails and the write process received a sick pipe signal. I also done this part. So in this I have included all the header files for this. In this, these are the standard C libraries included for basic I operations, process control, and the signal handling. Then there's the another function definition for sick pipe handler is a signal handler for sick pipe. If it simply prints a message when sick pipe signal is received. Then the main entry point of the code, main function. Here the program creates a pipe using pipe function, which is this one. Then the pipe FD's arrays then pipe file directories arrays will hold file descriptor for the read and write end of the file of the pipe. Pipe file descriptor is for reading, and pipe fd0 is for the reading, and pipe fd1 is for writing. Then finally, in this if block, the program attempts to write data to pipe using the write function. If the write is successful, it prints a success message. If not, it prints an error message. Here the signal function is used to set up a signal handler. For sick pipe, it specifies that when sick pipe is received, the sick pipe handler function should be called. Then the purpose of handling here the sick pipe is in the code is greatly handled in this situation. So let's run this program. So you can see the output. Thank you. Wait, I need to. Thank you.